What's up, my internet friends? Ray here, and today is the day. PlayStation VR has come out, and I am excited to do a quick unboxing and a quick review of the headset for you, and I'm sorry that my refrigerator is freaking loud. What's the matter with you? Stop being loud! Oh, hey, it worked. So let's get right to the nitty-gritty and get this thing out of the box. Inside this box, we have another box. Make that 2 boxes. Okay, let's open this top one. Whoop. Okay, right away, PlayStation Virtual Worlds and the PlayStation Demo Disc stand for the PlayStation camera. Charge cables. There is the PlayStation camera. Oh, awesome. They gave us the new designed one, not the old square one. PlayStation branded cleaning cloth. Oh, PlayStation VR branded. Isn't that fancy? And of course, your 2 Move motion controllers. PlayStation camera and Move controller instructions. Who needs those, right? That about does it with this. Now let's get this guy out. Everybody knows what this one is. If you don't, then, you know, read the title of the video. And oh wow, fancy. Look at, all right. This is the giant user guide. And oh, look at that. It's all labeled for what cord is in each corresponding box. So first, there's second. Here are all the cords here. They go on this. So I'm assuming this is the processor box. Let's get this bad boy out here. There it is. The PlayStation VR headset. It's actually lighter, much lighter than I was expecting. I was expecting something a lot heavier, but this is actually extremely light. Now, I've never demoed one of these. I've never gone to a Best Buy and tried one of these out yet. So this is gonna be my first time trying this out and setting it up. I'm gonna go ahead and get all these things put together. I just wanna get to the nitty gritty of it and try this thing out and see how it works. And I'll let you guys know what I think about it. So here we go. I'll catch you guys in a couple hours, probably. Later. Hey guys, it's been a couple days that I've had the PlayStation VR headset. I actually had a demo party over the weekend. I had a bunch of people come over and try out a couple games. I bought a couple games and I've tried them out, and I feel like I'm ready to give you guys an opinion and review about PlayStation VR. But first and foremost, I decided to include a setup portion of the video, so we are going to do that right now. First, you want to connect your PlayStation camera to your PS4. This actually attaches to the back of the PS4, not via USB like this old thing. I still have this. Don't laugh at me. The next thing you want to hook up is this. This is the processor unit for the PlayStation VR headset. On the back here, as you can see, I kept some of the numbers because it was easy to tell the difference between all the different wires. You've got the power cable, USB cable, and 2 HDMI cords. First one over here, which is actually labeled HDMI PS4, connects the processor unit to your PS4. The HDMI over here connects the processing unit to your TV. Moving on to the front. This piece actually slides back to reveal these ports. I believe an HDMI and aux cord, which connects directly to the headset. And one thing, I don't know if you can see that, but I did actually like on the cables, there's a triangle, circle, X, and square on the processor and on the cable heads here, so you can tell which cords go where. And then slide that back. The cable then runs down to this part here. This is actually the cable that goes directly to the headset, and then this is what connects it to the processing unit. And then, there's a headset. And there's a cat. That's Phoebe. But this is a PlayStation VR headset. Let's discuss the headset just a little bit. The headset itself weighs just under 1.5 pounds. One of the things I like about it, it has this here. This is actually a auxiliary port to plug in your headphones. And there's the power button, mute button, and volume controls. And volume controls are actually a little bit raised, as you can see there, so you can tell what you're touching when you have the headset on. You can't really see, so you can I can tell just by feel that these are the volume knobs, this is power, this is mute. If you're wondering why there's a mute button on this thing, it's because the headset actually has a built-in microphone underneath here, and it can actually pick up your voice when you're doing streaming or if you're just recording video off the PS4. As far as tracking goes, the headset is tracked via these lights on the different sides of the unit. There's even lights back here on the back. Boom! So these 9 lights on the headset are all tracked via the PlayStation camera. And we'll talk more about how the tracking works, but I just want to show you what it looks like when the unit is turned on. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to put the headset on. So putting the headset on is really easy. There's a button on the back of the unit that when you grab it and press, it actually extends out so that you can fit it over your head. And once you have it on, there's a button on the underside of the headset that actually will slide it closer and farther from your face. So you want to keep it out as far as it can be, and then slide it over your head. You want to adjust it until the vision in the headset is clear. You just press that button, slide it in, we're good to go. Ooh. As far as comfort goes on this headset, I'm sure you'll notice if you looked at any of the other VR headsets out there, like the Oculus Rift, the HTC Vive, they kind of fit over your head like snow goggles, or ski goggles, I'm sorry. Yeah, ski goggles. So they just have a band that goes all the way around your head, and then they just sort of hang in front of your face so that all that weight is like right there on the front of your face. I don't know how much they weigh. Full disclosure, I have never tried the HTC Vive or the Oculus Rift, so I cannot give you a really definitive comparison between those. So if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to find it here, sorry. As far as the design for the PlayStation VR headset, if you notice when I put it on, the front part, or this padded part here, is resting about right here, and this back part actually rests right at the base of the skull. So it's actually really, really balanced. And the headset itself, or the visual display itself, actually hangs in front of your face. So I actually had this thing on for 4 hours straight, I think the first day that I got it, and I had no complaints. I had no problems whatsoever. Now I'm sure you're wanting for me to talk more about games and the experience with PlayStation VR, but first, before we do that, we need to make some space to actually play. I'm going to show you my current setup as far as play space. This is my setup in my living room for PlayStation VR. The distance from the TV over to the couch is about 7 feet wide or 7 cats long. The manual says that you need to have at least 10 feet distance from the TV, 6 foot wide, in order to properly play PlayStation VR. Now, I will say this, this space that I'm working with here works just fine for me. Although I did have a friend who was a little bit taller, and I had to adjust the camera a little higher so it could see him when he was standing. So if you're a bit of a taller person, you might need that extra space. Now, I can finally talk about some of the games. Now, I'm only going to mention a few because I could talk all day about the different games and demos that I've tried. I got the PlayStation VR Worlds and the demo disc, which came with the bundle. I also purchased Batman Arkham VR. Highly recommend that if you're a Batman fan especially. Job Simulator and Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Some games require you to use the 2 motion controllers, like the Batman Arkham VR game and Job Simulator, where you have to make use of both of your hands to actually interact with the world. Other games allow you to use the regular PlayStation 4 controller. And then, of course, some games also allow for you to be able to play while standing up. Others allow you to play while you are sitting down, or give you a combination of both. One game that was a pleasant surprise that was also free, so if you get PlayStation VR headset, whether you get the bundle or just the headset, the VR Playroom is free on the PlayStation Store to download. It's kind of like the original Playroom when the PlayStation 4 camera came out, except this one's for VR. Extremely impressed with that game. A lot of the games that I've tried are really exciting and exhilarating, such as the London Heist, which is a lot of shooting. It's a really good narrative, it's a really good experience, and there's other games like Ocean Descent, which you've probably seen a lot of PlayStation VR videos of, where you just go into the ocean in a shark cage, and then a shark comes along. Now, as I said, I had a bunch of friends come over the weekend and try some of these out. One of them actually was comfortable enough for me to record them in her experience, so I'm going to show you a couple clips of that right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, wow, it works! That's cool. Whoa!
Alright, look left and right.
Left, right.
That's the opposite, but
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be wonderful. Oh! Sorry, I became a monkey for a second there. Hi! Is this porn? Hi, it's Attack on Titan.
And now we're going to get into the actual meat of this video, which is the review / opinion part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down for this. Now, to start this review, I want to once again say as a disclaimer I have not tried the HTC Vive, nor have I tried the Oculus Rift, so I'm not going to make a comparison between those headsets. This is my full, wholehearted, honest opinion about the headset, so we're going to start with the bad stuff, and then we're going to roll over into the good stuff. So here we go. First thing I want to mention, tracking. I think tracking can definitely be improved on the PlayStation VR headset. As you saw earlier in the video, the headset has 9 lights around it, and the camera tracks those lights to see where the headset is in 3D space. Now the headset does have an accelerometer and a gyroscope, but it also uses those lights to track. Now the PlayStation 4 camera isn't some infrared camera, as far as I can tell. It's just 2 cameras side by side to mimic eyes to show depth, and that's it. What that means is, if you put your hands in front of the headset, or if your body covers those motion controllers which also emit light, the camera loses sight of it entirely. So on screen your hands might disappear, or it might say you're out of the play area. But that kind of breaks your immersion, especially when you have full access to turn all the way around 360 degrees, but then your hands disappear, or what you see on screen jitters because the camera loses its tracking. That could be something that maybe will be fixed later on down the road, maybe with a patch or an update. I think it's just how they track it, something more than just the camera seeing the lights. Second thing, limited field of view for the camera. Now, as you saw, I had to move a lot of things around in my living room in order to even use PlayStation VR, and it was just enough. Now, I did mention earlier that I had a friend who was a bit taller than me. He's probably about 6 foot, and when he stood where I was standing originally to play one of the games, he was already outside of the play area and the camera couldn't see the headset. So I had to adjust the camera angle a little higher so that it could see him, because he couldn't exactly just back up another 2 feet, otherwise he'd have to be standing on the couch and we'd have an even worse problem. So if you're a taller person, you actually might need that 10-foot play area in front of the camera in order for it to see you properly. But if you're a short guy like me, 5'6", then you should probably be fine at about 6-7 feet. Third thing to consider with the tracking, this is why the tracking is a big deal, that's why it was number 1, is lighting. Now if you'll notice in a lot of the footage of me playing VR, it's dark. Like I probably only have this one light on and on its dimmest setting. Is dimmest even a word? I'm gonna roll with it. On its dimmest setting, so that there was at least a little light in the room, and it was just dark enough for the camera to see the lights for tracking, but it wasn't bright enough that it blew out the lights and it had problems, because if lights in the room are too bright, it could cause tracking issues, and then the world that you're in starts to jitter because it can't tell where the headset is, and that can make you sick. And with that, we're moving on to issue number 4, motion sickness. Now, I will preface that motion sickness is probably a common thing that will happen in VR. It's not specific to PlayStation VR. Any virtual reality headset you put on, you may be prone to getting motion sickness depending on the game. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes into that too, but we're not going to get into that. Motion sickness can occur when you're playing a VR game and there's movement involved. Now, a lot of the games where you're standing stationary, or a lot of games where you're piloting something like a car or a spaceship, where everything around you is moving except for what you're sitting in, you're probably going to be okay. But there are some games where you move as a player. Once you start moving, you feel really weird and uneasy, and I think it's because your mind sees that you're supposed to be moving, but your body isn't. I really don't know what goes into that or what creates the motion sickness, but it happened to me a few times, but it happened after I had been playing a particular game for about an hour. So that might have something to do with it. But I will say this. I had about 15 people come over this past weekend to try PlayStation VR. They tried a bunch of different games, and not a single one of them had motion sickness or felt uneasy or felt weird. Everyone loved it. In fact, one of them just earlier today told me they went out and bought PlayStation VR, so that's a win. Outside of that, I think the headset's great, so we're going to go ahead and mosey on over to the good aspects of PlayStation VR and VR in general. Okay, the good stuff. This is probably what you've been waiting to hear. One of the number 1 things I will have to say that I was really surprised with is the comfort of the headset. As I showed you earlier, how you put the headset on, I think it's a genius design. It doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel unbalanced, like it doesn't feel heavy up in the front, it feels very comfortable. Now the headset doesn't have headphones built in, but it did come with some stereo earbuds, you can wear those. But if you have over-the-ear headphones, it works with those as well. You don't have to worry about just wearing the earbuds. You can wear your regular Turtle Beaches or whatever kind of headset you have. They will work fine with this. Another great thing about the headset was because of its design, with the headset actually being able to adjust forward and backwards once it's on, I've had a lot of people who actually wear glasses were able to play while keeping their glasses on and play comfortably. It didn't feel like the glasses were mushed into their face. They were wearing it comfortably and they could see clearly. I wear contacts. I'm wearing them right now. I will sometimes wear my glasses, and it's good to know that I can wear my glasses with this headset and still be able to play. So I think that's a great thing. If you wear glasses, you'll be just fine with PlayStation VR. The next great thing is it's really easy to set up. I know there's wires for days behind my console and everything, but you just plug in a couple wires, turn it on, you're good to go. It's also a cheaper alternative compared to the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, especially if you already own a PlayStation 4, because then all you have to do is throw the $400 down on the headset if you just need the headset alone. If you need the camera, if you need the PlayStation Move controllers, you get the bundle, and that's $499. But for that $100 difference, you're really getting your money's worth. You also get PlayStation VR Worlds, which alone is $40, so the bundle makes sense. Now that is in comparison to the HTC Vive, which is $799, and the Oculus Rift, which goes for $600, but that doesn't include the Oculus Touch controllers. I think that's what they're called, and those are $200, so you're right back up at $800 for that. Not to mention you need a PC to run those, but if you already have a PC, go for it. If you have a PlayStation 4, get PlayStation VR. It just makes sense. Now, a lot of people might say that this is more or less the entry-level virtual reality headset on the market today, and you know what? It might be. I can't compare the visuals or anything, but as far as my experience, this being my first VR experience, I have no complaints. It is so much fun. It is great. It's a new way to play games, and I can't wait to play more with it. And one of the other added bonuses to owning PlayStation VR is game support, where there's supposed to be between 50 and 100 titles for PlayStation VR before the end of 2016. And there's over 200 developers working on VR titles or VR add-ons or patches to existing games. So at least for the near future, PlayStation VR is going to have a lot of support. And those are pretty much all of my bullet points for good and bad for PlayStation VR. I think it's a no-brainer to get it if you already have a PlayStation 4 system. I know some people might ask, is it better to wait for the PlayStation 4 Pro to get it, or will it work on current PlayStation 4s? As you saw, I'm running a first-gen PlayStation 4, and it runs just fine. So I wouldn't worry. I think the PlayStation 4 Pro would really make sense to anyone who already has a 4K TV. I do not, so I won't be making that jump anytime soon. But for my final opinion for PlayStation VR, if you have a PlayStation 4, get it. And like I said, some people might say it's the cheaper end of the VR headsets out there, but it does not feel like it in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't look it, it doesn't feel it. It's great. It is a phenomenal piece of technology. Now, I myself love my video games. I really do. And anything that can immerse me into that world, even more so, I'm gonna jump on. Now, I know a lot of people that would bash PlayStation VR and think it's the next PlayStation Move, which didn't do too well on the PS3. Honestly, it might. It might go that route. A year from now, they might drop PlayStation VR. I don't know. But what I do know is I want VR to become part of mainstream gaming. I don't see us playing with our VR units all the time and it's going to take over just playing on the couch on the TV. It's not going to do that. It's just a new way to experience games and get immersed in games or experience narratives in games. Bring you closer to that storytelling. This is my way of supporting it. Me getting it day one is me going, hey, I want this to be a thing. And if you're a friend of mine and you really want to give it a try, let me know. I'll let you come over and try it whenever you want. That's half the reason I got the bundle, because I know I was going to have a great time with it, but I more so would want to see other people have a great time with it in hopes that they would also support VR becoming a mainstay in gaming. That's pretty much all I have to say. I give it 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, 10 stars. I might actually even do some Let's Plays with some VR games. I mean, you never know. I have the PlayStation camera now. I might even do some streaming. That pretty much is it for this video. If you have any questions, if there's anything you want me to clarify on, please let me know down in the comments. And I might start producing more gaming videos on this channel. You never know. But I hope you enjoyed this review and opinion piece. And as always, keep on gaming.
grab the domino, we can get out of here.